Guys, today I have an interesting video for you. So, we have the Denver Broncos, the updated roster Denver Broncos. But players you probably did not expect to see on this roster is Demaryius Thomas, RIP, Peyton Manning, no Sean Marino, Wes Welker, Emmanuel Sanders, Julius Thomas, Virgil Green, the center guy that can't say his name correctly, the right guard guy, and Franklin. That's right, guys. I took the 2014 Denver Broncos, the squad that would end up winning the Super Bowl versus the Seattle Seahawks, where they won 48-7 or something, 48-3. That Super Bowl right there. I took that roster, who ended up being the 2015 roster, 2015 Broncos, because they won in 2015, but it was 2014 roster. I took the offense for that roster, and I added it to the 2024 Denver Broncos. And I combined the two rosters. You can see we have Cam Sutton still. We have some players you already know. Williams, Javonte Williams, Samaje Perine, Garrett Bowles, and I kind of mixed and matched these two rosters together to create one large-headed Peyton Manning roster. So let's just see how this goes, how well this goes, and how well the Denver Broncos are with Peyton Manning now at quarterback. So week 1, they played the Seattle Seahawks. Keep in mind also, 2014, that was the year that Peyton Manning, I think, had the second most passing touchdowns. He also had 4,700 passing yards. He had a fantastic year that year. It was absolutely insanity. And then you watch him in the other Super Bowl, the Panthers Super Bowl, and it's like, man, how the money has fallen that year. I mean, just a couple years earlier, he was putting up records with this team right here. And then a couple years later, this guy is absolutely barely able to finish the season. But somehow, the Raiders just beat us 31-10. Okay, not what I expected. We played the 4-0 Chargers. We beat the 4-0 Chargers, so now we're currently 3-3. Let's see what we can do in week 7 here, right before our bye week. I also turned off injuries because, as always, injuries are a super thing in Madden. We lose to Saints. Come on, man. All right, Carolina Panthers. It is the 4-3 Panthers, and we beat them. Kind of makes sense. Play the 4-4 Ravens right here. We beat them. Now we play the 3-5 Chiefs. All right, Peyton Manning loses to the 3-5 Chiefs. Every franchise I do this happens. The Chiefs start off awful, and then they turn it around, and they start playing really good. It's the most annoying thing ever. Nonetheless, though, we beat the Falcons, who were actually really good. Now we play the 7-3 Raiders. And now the Chiefs, by the way, are turning it around, as I said earlier right there. This time we beat the Raiders. Okay, so now we play the 5-6 Brownies. This is in Denver, Mile High, and we lose that game. Going into our bye week, we are currently 7-6 in last place in our division. If the playoffs started right now, we would not be in the playoffs because the Raiders would be in the playoffs in that 7 seed. So right now we're kind of fighting for that 7 seed, which we split with the Raiders, so it shouldn't be that difficult. Now, I'll be honest with you, this roster is not a Super Bowl roster, right? Without the 2015 team, okay? I'm talking about just the 2024 Denver Broncos. So not a Super Bowl roster. So there's only so much adding a Super Bowl winning squad can do, because you got to keep in mind that Super Bowl winning squad also had Von Miller on defense and a lot of great players on defense. So it kind of seems like we collapsed at the end of the season here. But it is what it is. I mean, I think, in all honesty, as we lose our final game to the Chiefs, I think in reality-wise, 7-10, probably better than they're going to go in real life. So I didn't know what to expect going into this, mainly because, again, like I said, this roster is not a roster that's going to go out there and win games and do really well this season. It's kind of like it's a figuring out things. We got Bo Nix now at quarterback. You lost Jerry Jeudy, but you got some other options. This was the season to figure out things. And 7-10, not really that bad, but overall wise, kind of disappointing because I was kind of hoping we could make this into a playoff team. But 4,800 yards, so very similar to what he did in 2014. And then 21 touchdowns and 9 interceptions is very surprising. Also, running the ball was not very efficient, although we did pass the ball very efficiently with 3 1,000-yard passers, and also Julius Thomas doing very well also. 10 sacks for John Franklin Myers. Again, this defense last season was their biggest problem. So we were the 9th-ranked offense. What were we defensively? The 16th, yeah. I think if you added a better defense to this squad, 7-10 is with a very mediocre defense and obviously the Super Bowl offense. But if you added a good defense, this squad would be really good. And I think in the future, eventually, this squad will be really good. I'm excited to see how the Denver Broncos do go ahead and adjust over the next couple of years. But for right now, they are a lot more than, some really true elite receivers, great running back, and a 35-year-old Peyton Manning, okay? They're a little bit farther down the line is what they're going to need to be back to a playoff team, potentially Super Bowl team. But wow, Miami beat the Packers 55-21. The 8-9 Packers. That is truly an interesting situation. That is wow. I have not seen a lopsided Super Bowl like that in a long time in Madden. Usually you don't get lopsided Super Bowls like that. I know you have a team, obviously Miami, that's a lot better, like record-wise, but 4 interceptions for Jordan Love. How many touchdowns did the defense score? None? Hold up. Okay, Raheem Mostert scored twice, and then you had Tua scored 4, so you had 6 touchdowns. Dang. Okay, well, that is absolutely insanity. Okay, well, I did not expect that in any way possible. Anyway, though, so a 91 offense, 85 over defense, and 85 overall. So, yeah, definitely need the defense. You need the defense to be a complete team here, and just having good offense, you're not going to be able to do it. Also, they don't really have good left guard in Ben Powers. I thought he was going to be a good solid option, but I guess not. You live and you learn. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.